Welcome back to the Meridian Pursuit Builders Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Sampley, and this is where we sit down with home builders, developers, real estate professionals, and industry leaders who are out there doing the work. You'll hear real conversations about markets, design, mistakes and lessons learned, and how builders can position themselves in a way that brings more customers to the table. Let's dive in.
We are headquartered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I am in Southwest Florida. Fun fact is that I'm actually from Pittsburgh, it's out suburbs of Pittsburgh, and my parents built a Miranda house. So I grew up in one.
Wow.
No affiliation at all. When I interviewed, nobody knew that. It just happened to be a very full circle moment that that's like the address that I'll remember for my entire life. It's the first house you ever lived in. So yeah, I feel like I'm a product of Miranda Homes.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go into, what drew you to the construction industry or the home side. Just how did you get started?
Yeah. So, since I was like super young, I always wanted to be a real estate agent. And that probably started in like middle school and all the way through college. So I went to college fully knowing that I am paying for this degree, but I could go and get my real estate license for a lot cheaper. But I wanted to have that college experience and I went for marketing. So I know a lot about marketing, which I think plays a huge role in all of real estate. But after college, you're just trying to figure out things. So got my real estate license. I went to college in Ohio, came to Florida, got my real estate license here. And then I actually started doing wholesaling. That was the first type of real estate that I did. So that's tough, but I can tell you that it taught me a lot. I did a lot of transactions. I saw a lot of like behind the scenes of real estate going on. So with a lot of like the distressed homes, it's the opposite of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fix and flips. Yeah. And that was in like the Tampa area. And that was right after the hurricanes too. So I was going through homes where there was hurricane damage, FEMA, you name it, we had it. And then that job wasn't really a fit for me anymore, but I really wanted to be in real estate still. And then I was just kind of like going back to my roots. I'm like, okay, like let's think about what I love the most. And I remember like growing up that I would go with my dad, me and my brother, and we would walk around these like ginormous houses, which you aren't allowed to do this, but like we did it. These big communities with these houses that are being built, and we would just walk around and like, that could be my room one day when you hit the lottery, and it's all new construction houses. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should get into something like that. Also growing up, I only lived in new construction houses. I did some research looking up some people, and I was like, I think that for me, this is going to be the best route to go down where there's a lot of growth in it too. So for realtors, you could be like a realtor and you just become a better realtor. For like in new construction, you become like managers and directors and you teach people and you lead people and like we're all a team here. So I think that's what really drew me to it too, is that like, okay, like you start somewhere and then like you have like so many goals. And like the company that I work for, like there's so many ways to go up and it's motivating. And that's what I love the most too.
You touched on it. You said being able to teach people, and on a construction side, like there's so much on an education side that you can let people know to be able to inform them on a good purchase and help be that guide. That yes, it can be a real estate agent can be very transactional, and you're really just trying to get as much volume as possible. But when you're able to really qualify someone and then show them like, hey, this is really why this is such a perfect fit for you for all the reasons that you've already told me, what kind of family you're trying to have, what kind of lifestyle you're trying to have, how long you're going to be in this home. I'm sure it's pretty rewarding too, to just show them, hey, what a good fit this is. And on an integrity side, showing the quality of the build and all that you guys do also.
100%. And just like giving people the peace of mind, knowing too that like we are going to hold your hand every single step of the way. I'm in this model home. I feel like I live in the community that I work in, but I don't live in here. But I feel like I'm here all the time. I'm like, if you ever need anything, like pop in. I'm going to be here. We're going to be with you for every single step of this. And this is like with real estate in general, but like you're truly seeing like people's lives change. And sometimes it makes you like feel like life isn't so hard. I had somebody recently came in and just a terrible situation. Like we just sat here and just talked for a while. And I felt so bad for this lady, but now she is like, I see like the light at the end of the tunnel. And like, this is a great new start for me. We're not doctors or anything like that, right? We're not saving lives, but it's special to be a part of like this experience with people and that they can like, we're like, come with us. Let's walk through the house. Like, let's get with the project manager. What are your concerns? Like, tell us. And we have a great relationship with our builder too, where your communication is key here. So we want to know, like, is there something wrong going in the house? If so, tell us so that we can calm down the client a little bit or just be a better resource.
So tell me about the process a little bit. What kind of homes are these semi-custom homes? What are they able to pick out? But kind of take me through, like, if I'm a new home buyer, what am I looking at? What am I supposed to be looking at? And then how much flexibility do I have in the different finishes or the different lots that I'm able to choose?
Yep. So what I tell people is that we're not a custom builder, but we're customizable. So there are some things that we can change structurally, and that kind of just depends on what floor plan you end up picking. And then when it comes to like the finishes of the home, you come into our design studio and you pick it all out. The flooring, the cabinets, the stone, the backsplash, the paint on the outside of the house. You name it, we can do it. And that's what people love too. They love coming in here and being able to pick out their own finishes because a lot of people look at new construction houses and they're like, I don't want those cookie cutter homes. I don't want to like live in like a neighborhood where it looks like everything's the same. People come in all the time and they're like, there's another builder in here. And they're like, which one's yours and which one is theirs? And I'm like, actually, the other builder doesn't have any up yet. So they're all ours, but you would never know that because you get to change so much. And they're like, oh yeah. So that also like very much eases people too. And that gives them a process where they can come in and design their own home and make it their style. And then obviously like we have the inventory homes and things like that, where if somebody is in a pinch, which we do see people, they're like, hey, I got a new job and I need something in 2 months. We have homes that are either almost done or they're 100% done. So we have so many different avenues for people. Also, we build in a lot of different areas, especially in Southwest Florida. We build on scattered lots too. So, you know what? If we don't have something in this specific community, let's find another community for you. Let's figure out something where we can get you in somewhere fast.
Is it always building inside of a community?
No. So actually, the division that I'm in, we're mostly on scattered lots. So we only have two communities that we have. Yeah, we only have two communities, and that's the one that I'm in, which is in Punta Gorda. And then we're also building on Pine Island, which is like past Cape Coral a little bit, and we're building townhomes
Okay,
in there. So those are our two main
nice.
communities. Yeah. Other than that, it's scattered lots. You have a lot, you deed it over to us, and we'll build on your lot too. Um,
Okay.
but like across the United States, like I grew up in a community with Miranda homes, so it's just like kind of different on the area that you're in.
As a new person comes in and they're trying to explore and they're trying to choose either the location or the house, what's that handoff look like to from the office, from the design center to actually getting it built? What's the communication cadence for who kind of takes care of the client after construction starts?
What will happen is that they'll obviously come in, we'll do our discovery, we'll learn exactly what they want, exactly what they're looking for. And that's our biggest thing too, is some people, they think that maybe we're like overstepping the line when we ask so many questions. We're like, we just want, the more questions the more answers we know, the better that we can fit you in anywhere. We start with that and then we pick the floor plan, we pick the area, the home site, and then that's when we have the contract. After the contract is either we can start almost immediately picking out colors, which I will do that with them. We'll sit here in my office. We have a design studio where we have everything laid out. So it's like whatever level you want it. Okay, here are your options, and we put everything together. Or we could do that a week or two after. It just got to be kind of within the time frame so that we can start ordering the right materials. And then after that, we'll do a pre-construction meeting too. So we'll all sit together, the project manager, me, the buyer. We want to make sure that we are building the right house and that sometimes the garages could be on the right side or the left side, kind of depending on what the buyer ends up choosing. So we want to make sure there's many meetings where we're making sure everything is right before we start building. And then we have multiple walkthroughs too that will happen in the construction process. Obviously, I'm always on site. Our project managers are constantly here. We have a great relationship with our trades. Mostly they'll be in communication with me the entire time and then the project manager too. So there's not
Wow.
too many hands in the pot, but it's enough where, again, we're constantly here and we're able to show you what's going
That's
on.
that's so nice to have you all along the way. instead of it
Mhm.
being just a sales position to say, okay, I'll get you, but once we've won the project, then I'm off to the next person, and you'll never see me again. It's really nice to go back and references. Hey, remember when we talked about that paint color, or maybe we want to make a few adjustments after doing a walkthrough or something like that. Are there some like key things on a structural side, or on a construction side, that you guys do that homeowner will never see? But is there something you guys really focus on, a couple key areas that kind of make you guys stand out in the area?
Yeah, so a lot of the things that we are like known for are like our energy efficient products. So when it comes to like the windows and like our HVAC systems, they're all inside the home. So you're not going to find anything in the garage, especially living in Florida, right? You want to have everything as much as energy efficient as possible because that sun is powerful, and obviously
Yeah.
also the hurricane. So we do
Yeah.
offer options for our homes. Our homes are going to be concrete built, so all hurricane proof. We do have the option too, where either we have shutters or we can upgrade you to windows too. Also too, like Miranda Homes is very well known for just the overall quality of the builder that we are. Some people might say like we're like in the line of like a production builder, but I would say that I encourage people that come through, go out and check our competitors out. Go and start knocking on their walls, start playing with their doors, and then come back and let's talk. But I'm confident, yeah, like I'm confident enough where I will say, go do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
because I kind of know what they're going to come back to.
Yeah, as you're kind of acting as a guide, like what are some of those things that they need to pay attention towards? Like, okay, big box production builder and Miranda Homes, like what are some of those things that they should be looking at? That it's not going to be visual, but like you said, you're going to have to knock on some doors. You're going to have to really show people what they need to pay attention towards.
Hmm.
Because if this is a first time home buyer too, they're not experienced as far as what they should be looking at. What are a few of those things that just help show the quality?
Yeah, well, I just think one, just like the sales agents knowing what they're talking about when it comes to like construction and things like that, being able to tell people things that they might not even have questions about, like bringing up like ventilation and just things like that. Like we ventilate our microwaves to go from like outside. So just bringing up things like that. And then also just like reassuring people that some of our biggest competitors are like, DR Horton, Lennar, My Home, like all of them. Usually what they're gonna have is they're gonna have, here it is, this is a starter home, whatever it is, and here's package A, B, C, or G. At Miranda Homes, we're allowing you to be a part of this home buying process where you can add your own style to the home. You're gonna be a part of the home here. Like again, every home isn't gonna be like a cookie cutter home. So that's where you can kind of change it too. So that's where I would tell people to like make sure that there is strong communication. Obviously, we're salespeople, right? We want a sale. That's how we get paid. That's how we make the most money. But it's also a good thing when you like know that somebody has asked you the right questions and they know that they're putting you into the right house and they're not just doing it for a sale.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also nice being backed by someone that cares so much about quality too,
Hmm.
because the reputation will eventually catch up with you. And a really big box builder, that doesn't matter as much just because that's not their business model.
Hmm.
It's per pure volume. How long has Miranda Homes been around?
Over 50 years. So we've been around for a
Yeah.
long time, family ran, debt free companies.
Wow.
A lot of people, their concern with new construction is that like, are you going to start building my house and then run out of money midway through it? And then we're just going to have nothing here. Because the area that I'm in, we've had people like come in and ask that. And I'm like, no, I reputable. And then I kept kind of bringing my story. I'm like, listen, like I grew up in one like this many years ago. So yeah, I think that's a good way to help people that.
This is for a builder that maybe they're building a custom or a spec home, and they're faced with so many questions as far as what do I pay a lot of attention towards as far as the layout, the openness, different finishes. What do you think from the perspective of a home buyer are some of the real key things that they should spend a lot of attention towards, and making sure that they're spending a proper amount of their budget and their time focusing on these specific parts of the home?
Say, like, especially where we are, obviously Florida, I think the outside area is very important to buyers. The lanai, people love the lanai or like an outside porch. So if you can add that in any way or position the house where at some point the prospective buyer could make their backyard whatever oasis they wanted to make. Obviously, if you're on like the water or the canal and things like that, you kind of have that. But I would say if you're definitely from Florida, position these spec homes where there can be a pool put in at any point. because people might not have the money up front to put in a pool, but that's something you can always add. I would say another thing that we see a lot is the master bathroom and then the kitchen. Those are some key things that, especially when people are entertainers, that's what they like the most. Having that big open concept with like a kitchen, that's definitely something that we see people like. And then having a nice master bathroom. Where I am, these are mostly like second, third time home buyers here. So they know what they want and they want to put the money in is where the areas that they like in the house. And that's one of the areas too. And I would say the flooring. That's something that a lot of people are 100% always looking at is the flooring. Again, living in Florida, having carpets and sand do not match very well. So I would say to try to keep away from any, I think majority of people do keep away from carpeting as much as possible. But I think, but some people do like carpeting. Like me coming from up north, I love carpet and bedroom. It kind of just reminds me of home. But I don't have kids or anything, but like if I were to, that might make me think twice.
I have 4 kids and I do not like carpet.
Yeah.
And we also have 2 dogs, and carpet is just, you can never clean it hard enough. It collects, and then you can never really get it 100% clean. So I love tile.
Yeah.
We're actually getting a home built right now in Ocala, and we did
Oh,
all tile. Yeah, it's a similar type of a builder. It's a family operation,
got it.
and they're not production type homes, but you're able to customize just
Mhm.
enough. And so it was really perfect for us. It's in a township with, dog parks and water parks and things like that. So
Yeah,
with our
that's great.
flew of kids, it was perfect. We
Yeah,
have enough amenities to keep everybody busy throughout the day and the week.
there you go. Especially when you can be outside all the time in Florida.
Yeah, but it was real nice. We have our liaison that, on a communication side has always kept us up to date on, hey, this is what is happening on the project. For us, it was the excitement of this constant communication to just know like, hey, what's just going on, so that it's not just months and months going by and we have no, idea. And it was real nice for almost the how I'm going to speak about this builder in the future is all of that's being done right now.
Mhm.
Is the communication cadence and even some of the small issues that we've had to work through as far as flooring that we chose. They didn't have it in stock. We had to choose another one. They've just been real gracious and easy to communicate with. I think that tells a lot about a builder, no matter what
Yeah.
size. But just being able to, we know that there's going to be some issues. We're going to work through those. All of that was brought up and communicated through an expectation set early on. And the person that we worked with, someone very similar in your position, is like, hey, I've got you all the way to the end of the build. I'm not just here to make the sale and then move on, but like, truly, here's my personal cell phone number. Like, let me know if there's anything at all. I think that tells so much about the culture of a company too.
No, 100%. 100%. And I think like when you're talking about like expectations, like that's something too that I like to talk to people about is like, okay, listen, we're in a community and you're going to be in a construction community, right? So our goal is to be out of here in like, let's say 2 years. So there's going to be some trucks and stuff that are going to be in this community. We will be out of here at some point, but I think also like setting those expectations, like people like to, you're not like, yeah, we are the perfect and there's nothing wrong here. Like that's just not realistic for anything at all.
This goes back to the people, but when you have someone that can be open and honest about those things, then there are very few surprises. And that person cast the vision too of, let's go beyond where the dump trucks and stuff are now. Let's move past that. Let's think the next 13, 14 months where all of these amenities are built out and all of these homes are completed. It's just real nice to have someone that can help cast that vision, and because it's a lot of decision making.
It is. It's just an investment. It's one of the like biggest purchases that somebody can make in their life, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Besides maybe a yacht or something like
Yeah,
that in the
a yacht or like a big company
yeah.
or like a kid.
Yes. Oh, 4 kids. I do recommend it, but I'm sure it'll get easier as time goes on. What are some other things, little nuggets for builders out there? Just some general tips for things to look at or things to be mindful of when thinking through the perspective of a home buyer. Because it's real easy as you're building we're focused on the build and doing a good job and building our company, but your company is built on your clientele that comes through, because that ends up becoming your ambassadors for your own brand. And there's nothing as strong as a natural and personal referral. So keeping a good relationship with the customer all throughout the project, it's got to be forefront for these builders, and keeping that a priority, because you can have a great build at the end of the project, but again, you have to have this communication with the client all the way through, because they will be your champions. And you want to give them things to talk about too, is to say, hey, this was our experience in whole, but they also did this that I wasn't expecting. They're doing this in the foundation that I have no idea. I know things about my foundation that I can repeat this, almost like these little sound bites of like, I'm able to repeat these things to other people, which speaks to their integrity and speaks to, their attention to detail.
Definitely. And I think something that I think all builders should do or should know is know your competition. Know who else is out there. So obviously it's very rare that somebody walks in and this is their first stop and they're like boom, 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 and that's done. People are going to be doing a lot of research. Again, this is a house. This is a big investment. This is where someone spends the majority of their time. So it's very well to know what else is going on around here. What are the competitors doing? Because they're going to bring that up. They're going to be like, okay, XYZ down the street, they're doing this. Why are they doing this and you're not doing that? And it's good to just kind of like always know like what's going on, or even when it comes to like pricing. Hey, why did they have that? I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that too. Like I'm on everybody's mailing list. Do they know who I am? I don't know. I am super competitive, so it's kind of bad for me. I'm like really competitive, so I know what's going on. I know there's a lot of builders on the street that I'm on. I'm like, I know you. I know everything. I'm on all of your mailing lists. I got the deal. So when somebody brings it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that. Like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Funnel hacking.
And people are like, what? How do you know that?
Do you use an alias email for all of that?
I have different emails that don't have the company that I work for.
There you go.
I have family around here too. I'm like, hey, can you stop in here and see what they're doing? Hey,
I love it.
You gotta be different somehow.
That's very true. Where do you think that competitive nature comes from?
I've been in sports my whole life, so I definitely think that I was a cheerleader in college. So I think that growing up with like coaches and just like having like a team of people around me all the time, I think that's very much. And I'm from Pittsburgh, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Come on now. That's one of the favorite football teams around. But growing up, always like, and again, like being a part of like college football and things like that, I think that just grew like so much competitiveness in me. Growing up with brothers, that grew competitiveness in me. And I don't like losing with anything. And I'm kind of a poor sport, but I can admit it. I can admit that I'm a poor sport.
At least you admit it.
Yeah. So like when you get to like cornhole or things like that, like I will go from like real happy to real mad, but just like it's really close.
Okay, you're like I'm hyper focused. I have one goal here. It is to win.
Yeah.
I love it.
But it works. It works like in sales and stuff too. I think like a lot of like college athletes end up becoming salespeople because of that. You kind of have to be competitive to be in like this type of industry. You need to be like very super motivated, and you have to like be I don't want to say obsessed with it, but like I was obsessed with cheerleading, and now I'm so obsessed with my job. I love my job. That's it.
I've actually heard this from other people, and even specifically other builders, is like you have to be obsessed at anything that you do to find success in it, because especially as you go through the roller coaster of success or whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish, like there are going to be like really high highs and really low lows.
Oh, yeah.
So as you're trying to level out, like you really have to obsess over how am I going to accomplish this? What am I going to do when things aren't going the way that I really want them to? But it has to consume you. I feel like my gauge is if I'm not dreaming about it at night, then I'm not putting enough energy and focus on it.
The dreams are the worst.
If I can problem solve in my dreams, I know I'm doing it right, because I'm consuming, so much that it's like my brain's trying to make sense of it at night.
Yeah, I have the dreams.
Okay.
Usually they're good, but sometimes I'm like, no. But yeah, I dream. That's when you know you're like in it. You're like, okay, I'm dreaming about it.
Yeah. Well, how do you kind of staying engaged? What are some people that you look to for inspiration, or just kind of keep you going, keep that motivation up to just keep a healthy flow of momentum going? Because that you have to have the momentum, and to keep that momentum, something's got to feed you, because, eventually you run out of gas.
Hmm.
So is it podcasts? Is it books? Is it networking? What are some things that you feed energy from?
I think it's social media. I mean, like
Really?
social media is taking over, and there's TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and just everything. And people are constantly, social media, they show a lot of the good, and a lot of people don't show a lot of the bad. So constantly seeing the good, you're like, okay, I want to be that good. I want to be that good. I want to be like that person. So I definitely think that you can very much like get in like a rabbit hole of it, and it can be bad, but also like if you are competitive like that and you're seeing like I'm seeing the person up the street like selling this many homes, I'm like, wait, how are we this close and you're selling that many homes and I'm not selling this many homes? I usually can see it on social media, or I can see like what are the I can see who's getting their awards and things like that. So I would probably say that, and then definitely podcasts. I love podcasts. I love
I do
going
too.
on long walks, and that's all I listen to, or usually podcasts.
Yeah. For me, like I have to drive. Once I start driving, things start making sense. And
But yeah,
usually I have like a reminders
yeah,
that's open. I'm like, oh, okay, now that I'm kind of out of the office and I'm able to just have some silence, then it's like, oh, okay, remind me to do this. Oh, here's an idea, and it's the miles just unravel my brain.
yeah. It's the ideas too that just start popping up. But another thing I
Yeah.
have here is this book that if anybody is in new home sales or needs help, Jeff Shore, this book right here
Yeah.
is amazing. It is all for like new home sales agents. It's even for builders. Like if you don't have the agency idea, this book
Give me
is
the
great.
synopsis. What do they get out of it once they read the book?
I think you're going to get a better understanding of how people feel like when they're walking. There's a reason that people like came into my model home today. They weren't just walking down the street and just happened to appear in this model home. There's always a reason, and you need to figure out that reason. There's something going on in their life that they're there, and you need to figure that out so that you can help them, so we can overlook that. So I think very much like thinking of like in the home buying process of what the buyers are thinking about is what this book talks about a lot.
And probably too, just marrying what you have to offer. Like you're in the service industry. People, I think sales has got a negative connotation to it sometimes, but like
Mm-hmm.
everything is sales. But it's
Right.
also service.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help you, and if it's a good fit, then it's a great fit. But I have to first make you aware of it. Are all of the leads that come in, are these all of them are people coming off the street, or do you have other lead strategies to get people to come into the model home? What's that process look like?
Yeah, so in this model home, there are a lot of people that come like from like directional signs and stuff. They see the name out front. We have flags everywhere, and they're coming on in. Obviously, they're seeing construction. And we also have an online sales team. You can go onto our website. That's their phone number. Call them. Hey, I want to book an appointment, and that's how you get in here. But we do have so many people that come through our doors constantly just by seeing the sign. And then we have people where buying a home can be a very long process. So we have a system where we can go back years and years and years and kind of see like, all right, this person came here 2 years ago. They said that they're 2 years out. Let's maybe contact them. So that's
Yeah.
something else that we do too.
Takes me back because before we started building our home, we were trying to figure out where do we want to relocate in Florida. And
Yeah.
it was basically the entire state. So we
Mhm.
went from Daytona side, we went down towards Fort Lauderdale and Port Charlotte, Orlando. So we walked into a lot of model home centers
Mhm.
and experienced that. And it's really fun just seeing how different people operate and what their sales process is.
It's so
For me,
fun.
at least. Maybe for other people, it's not so exciting, but I was like, "Oh, this is fun. I wanna be sold to."
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done it. I've gone to areas where it's like not really part of my territory at all. It's like a couple hours away, and I'm like, well, when I was new, like really new, and I'm like, all right, I want to know how to be the best. So let me just start shopping around and seeing how are these people like approaching me. And then I just kind of took notes from there and just kind of seeing what they're doing and how I felt. I'm like, all right, well, they made me feel good or bad. So let me
Yeah.
tweak this a little bit. But yeah,
You think that comes back from your marketing background, is just viewing things like that is always an engineered way for everything.
oh
Nothing is by
yeah,
accident. If you're ordering a hamburger from McDonald's, they have a script that they're saying. Like, everything has a process to it because that's how success works, is like you have a formula, you improve the formula, and when it starts working, you use that formula over and over and over. Do you think that comes a bit from the marketing background, is just reverse engineering that?
I think that marketing plays the biggest role in all of real estate, honestly. I think that if you're not marketing yourself right, you could have the best price house. You could have the best house on the street at the best price. But if people don't know about it, it's gonna sit there forever. You need to get yourself out there. Another thing with marketing is that you've got to be different. Like that's the thing. A lot of realtors, they have an Instagram or TikTok, whatever it is, and every single TikTok or Instagram reel, they're, hey, welcome to 123 ABC Road or whatever it is, and here's this house. You lost me. You lost me in 3 seconds that you're going to start showing me this house. You have to be different. You got to start in a different way. You can't be like every other person because people are just going to school right by you.
What are you seeing working well now for you on social media? Which platform?
TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. TikTok is I would say it's doing the best for me right now. I've had a couple people, reach out to me, and I really made my TikTok because I want to be like an educational resource for people that don't know anything about this. They don't know about new construction. They don't even know how to buy a house because they don't teach us this in school, in college. You don't really learn about like mortgages and interest rates and all of the warranties and all those things. You don't know anything about that. So my goal is to very much so like teach people of what this should look like. And I tell all my friends that are looking for houses right now, I'm like, if you could do one thing, give one builder a shot. Just give them a shot and see what they say, because I promise you are going to be shocked at what you can get for your money this early on, or with a builder, because you would be shocked. People don't know about it. It's not talked about much. In my opinion, it's not.
It is not. In fact, the neighborhood that we went and looked at first, we went there with our real estate agent to look at another house that was already for sale. Before we actually got to the house, we got met by an agent that was selling homes in that same neighborhood. And she got a hold of us first. But then she showed us with the incentives that we have now, just because we're in a bit of a soft market, we are trying to sell these homes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you could build a new home, and with the incentives and being able to customize like all of this stuff in your home, like you're at a better price point than if you buy this home that's already for sale. And for us on our timeline, it pushed it 6 months, which is what we really needed. You just think that, oh, a new home is going to be more expensive, or it's too complicated. I don't even know. Like, I don't think that you're really, you don't put it apples to apples. It's just like, okay, if I'm going to quickly do something, obviously a used home is going to be cheaper or easier. And it was not the case at all.
No, it's not. There's articles that have been going out too, like in Florida, that new homes are going for less than resale homes right now, which is insane because everything's new. But going back to what you said about like every house has a story behind it. So like what you see online might not be true. Like we could have a house that's been sitting in my community for over a year. It could have this crazy story behind it where we're just trying to get rid of it, but you would never know that if you didn't come in and give it a shot.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say don't believe like everything you see online either too when it comes to like websites and things like that, because every single house, every single community, every single builder has a story, and just listen to it. You'll never know what can come out of it.
I think you bring up a good point with that, which is education and also just showing up for people. And social media is a great place to do that. And on what we do on a marketing side is really push the awareness, which is like, hey, you can't even begin the sales cycle unless people know about you. And you can't really have much authority unless you're showing building some trust with these people too. A lot of it, I feel like with AI, there is just a lot less ways to kind of like hack the system and like just be real, show up, provide education. All of these online platforms have the same goal, which is we want to keep you on our platform. We want to engage with users. So it's a pretty easy recipe to say something of value, be consistent, and engage.
That's it too. Being consistent and engaging too, because once you start falling off for a couple of weeks, they're gonna be like, okay, wait, what happened here? Or like, are they not like, you want to show people that you're constantly going and going and going, and that you're consistent, because that's going to show how you're going through in the sale process too. Are you going to be consistent this whole time?
And what we do is a lot of the content that we see that is already like organically working, then we'll use those as paid ads, because we know like, hey, there's something that the algorithm really likes about this. So we'll use that, and then our call to action, we'll take it to a qualifier form or wherever it needs to, depending on the goal. But you've got to be seen first.
Exactly.
And then you got to like foster that relationship with people within your area that you're trying to reach. and do that consistently.
Yeah, and you never know until you try. Like for me, I did not want to do social media. I don't really post on social media, like my personal account. I don't do much on it. And I was like, I was so stressed out about doing TikTok, and because it's easier said than done, right? Like, don't care what people say, but that's hard, right? Like that is a hard thing to come across. I mean, now that I'm doing it, I'm like, honestly, if someone wants to like make fun of me for me working hard for my job, then kudos to you to do that. But yeah, I would say just do it. Like it's honestly kind of fun, and I've met some people from doing it that I would have been like, oh, you never know what opportunity is just dangling right in front of you. And you just do one thing.
One piece of advice I got here recently, and I thought this was so good, which was if you focus on the tiniest detail of something, then you have more than enough content to talk about. So whatever subject it is, and for him, he was talking about renovations, and he was just like, if I'm zoom in all the way to like not just a window, but I'm talking about a screw that we're using for the window, then he's like, I've got so much content that I can talk about. Because for him, he was saying, at first it's like, what do I talk about?
Yeah.
It can become a little overwhelming. It's like, just talk about the real details of, hey, we're using this, stainless steel screw versus this other type of screw, and we're doing this because of this reason. Now you've got 20 topics to talk about just on that window, and zoom out. Then we're talking about I thought that mindset was really important to say, like, don't get too big with it. Just talk about the tiny things, and then you'll never run out of things to talk about.
Exactly. And then when you start making these videos that are like 5-10 minutes long, again, people's attention spans aren't there anymore. You can't be doing that. They got to be kind of like short and sweet and to the point, and then next. You've got to keep rolling. That's the thing is you gotta kind of like match the algorithm that you're in and the market that you're in and the people that you're around. So you gotta feel like kind of like, what do they like? And then market towards that.
Yeah. Another strategy we use is when you Google something, if you go down in the page, it says people also search for, and then it shows you that list of what other people are searching for. And under that is using those questions. And then we'll have the client just make a long video that answer those things and be like, hey, we're getting some questions about, and then basically just answer all of those questions, and then throw it into one of these AI editor apps like Clip Opus.
Yeah.
It's taking it and then just let it spit out, hey, here's your 10 different videos. You spent 15 minutes recording this video on your phone, and now you've got 2 weeks worth of content that you're able to post every single day. And it took you, less than 30 minutes?
Exactly.
And getting people used to a good rhythm of, okay, this isn't so huge to where I think that I need to overproduce this. That's been real helpful.
No, for sure. And like for me, like I use ChatGPT, like it's my assistant. I use it for so many things. And I tell it, I'm like, all right, I posted this TikTok today and I love it. It's like, good job. Now we're going to do this. And I'm like, great. And then it walks you through the whole process. All you have to have is the idea. And then it's like, okay, go here, here, here. And then you just there's more ideas that just keep coming and coming. But yeah, I think that there's so many like videos. This is never ending. Like you're never going to run out of ideas. And then when people start having questions, you just make videos based off of the question.
Yeah. And you have to look at the value of it. And the value is huge, which is to be able to show up and do this consistently. It kind of starts this virtual referrals, which I've heard from a lot of people already, which is like, hey, they're getting people referred to them on Instagram by people that they don't know, but they've just consumed the content. And it's like, man, I see the kind of homes you guys are building. I know what kind of projects you normally work on. I know somebody, I'm going to send them your way. And that person's like, I don't even know who this person is. But I guess they were just consuming what I was putting out there, and they liked what they saw. And they said, our return on investment is just time. And
exactly.
We're putting the time in, but now we're actually getting real jobs out of this.
Well, that's the thing too, is that at least like, doing this, like being on social media, we're all still getting paid in the background because we're doing our job. This is just like an extra like resource for us to have. And I mean, like social media is the new norm now. People are on their phone looking at social media more than that they're watching TV.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is
a second.
Yeah.
I think they call it second screen. So like even while watching the Super Bowl last night,
yeah,
you've got your one screen on the wall, and then you've got your other screen to where you're almost viewing a secondary storyline of like, hey, I'm watching this live, but I'm also seeing this live engagement as far as like what everyone else in the world is talking about.
Yeah.
on the halftime show or talking about who's here and not there. It's really interesting.
That's what I was watching. Like, the Super Bowl last night, I was watching the halftime show, and then after I went on TikTok and I was seeing people that were actually sitting there, and they're like, we can't see anything. And I'm like, it makes sense because the visuals on the TV are great. And they're like, all we can see are these people in these trees. Or they were like, did you know that these trees are people? And I was like,
yeah,
didn't know that.
It's really awesome. Well, Kelsey, this has been great. Anything else you want to add?
I would just say for all builders out there, just keep marketing and staying consistent, and things will come. And again, have like good customer service and communication with people. And then if you have the right product and you're doing the right thing, then things are going to work out or something.
Awesome. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to following along and seeing where you go.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I loved it.
All right, that's a wrap for this conversation. If you know someone who should be on this podcast, send us an email at info@meridianpursuit.com and nominate them. We're always looking for great stories to share. And if you got something out of this episode, please leave us a quick review on the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, tap like and subscribe so we can share this with more people. I'm Jesse Sampley. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.